Hi guys, welcome back. It's Madeline and I'm excited to talk to you today about maskne, acne, my experience with acne, tell you about what my skin's doing right now, what has worked, and what my plan is in the future. So I've always struggled with just acne-prone skin, nothing cystic, nothing over the top, but I do recall in high school I had like pretty bad breakouts on my forehead. I've always struggled with breakouts on like my back and chest. In high school I ended up doing a round of antibiotics, which did really help clear up some of the active breakouts. And I was always told to use like oil-free moisturizer, like mattifying, this and that, and I really think it caused more harm than good on my skin, because with combination skin you get dryness. Like a good way to test if you have combo skin is to wash your face with just a gentle cleanser, dry it, and then wait. Don't put anything on it. And if your skin starts to kind of tighten up, especially sort of in like the T-zone cheek area, that usually means that you have dry skin or combination skin. Now, my cheeks never really used to get too dry. They still don't really get dry, but what's so weird is that I'll get dehydrated skin, especially when I drink a lot of coffee. My skin tends to get dehydrated, and that often appears in oiliness and overproduction of oil, because if my skin is not plumped up with water, I find it just overproduces oil. So it's a balancing act, to say the least. But what I try to do is try to keep my skin well moisturized and well cleansed, because that usually helps to keep it quite happy. And in between all of that, I like to use acids, resurfacing treatments, retinol, to keep my skin really soft and glowing. Now, I never wanted to do Accutane or anything, and I'm happy I never went down that route, and I just ended up finding topical treatments that worked for me. So something that is well known for treating acne is Bental Peroxide. So I have this Benzo Spot On Acne Gel, and I try not to get to a point where my acne spots get like really angry and really red, but if you do get just like the occasional red oil blemish, this is a really great product to have in your arsenal. I told my friend Sylvie once, she's like, I have this one really stubborn acne spot. I told her to buy a Benzo cream. She put it on and it made the spot completely disappear within a few days. The thing is, this does not work overnight. You need to put the product on for, a few days, maybe twice a day for like 3 to 4 days, and I'm sure that will help to kill the P. acnes bacteria. It'll help the spot diminish without the risk of scarring, because the worst thing you can do is to start attacking, picking, prodding at spots that are not ready to be extracted. There are spots that can be extracted, but I would highly recommend finding a med spa or esthetician in your area that can be your ally in helping you to treat your skin, because by the time you spend all this money on products, it's probably worth it just to go to someone who can give you some advice on what to use. What was funny actually was that the last esthetician I went to, I was talking about how I have blemishes and blackheads on my nose, and she was like, oh, just use a Clarisonic brush. And I ended up buying another Clarisonic brush, not only because of that, but because I do really like the manual brush exfoliation of my skin. But the skincare world hates Clarisonic brushes, so I just thought it was so funny that this esthetician was like, Clarisonic, and I'm like, oh, okay. They unfortunately have gone under, but I still love my Clarisonic brush. And that was just a funny little tip, because you know what? The alternative to using a Clarisonic brush to cleanse your face is using like a washcloth, for example. But there's a lot of work that goes into washing your face with a washcloth, like to get that kind of nice circular motion. And I find the brush just does it all for you. So if you don't want to spend the money on a cleansing brush, it is okay to use a cloth to get that same type of deep exfoliation. So when I take off my makeup, for example, I'll use a cleansing oil. I'm currently using one from Shuamura, which is great. And then I'll use a lightly foaming cleanser or like a cream-based cleanser just to clean deeper into my skin. 2 times a week, I use a retinol product. I actually got it prescribed to me from my general practitioner doctor, and it is very expensive, so make sure you have coverage, but I would totally recommend asking a doctor for a prescription if you are looking for like a retinol type product. I was explaining how I get breakouts on my chest and back, and she recommended using Adapalene Gel. So I use the Adapalene Gel 2 to 3 times a week, and a good rule of thumb with retinols is to use them corresponding to your age. So in your 20s, use it twice a week. In your 30s, 3 times a week. 40s, 4, 50s, 5 times a week. 60s, 6, 70 onwards. Retinol is an incredible ingredient that targets both adult acne and wrinkles. It truly changes the texture of your skin and changes it for the better. What's important to note about retinol is that it is not a spot treatment. It is to prevent acne from forming. It sort of like tones the interior of your pores. It is truly incredible, and I have noticed a great reduction in breakouts that I was experiencing on the beard line. I'm gonna insert some photos here. I had a very hard time with bumps forming down here on my jawline. Now, I really do think the retinol has helped. I've also been drinking a lot more water. Currently, I'm experiencing those bumps almost right onto my cheekbone area. I'm really just trying to avoid them forming in the first place by using a good routine of cleansing, moisturizing, and using treatments. So the retinol is fantastic. And what happens with retinol, you want to put it on to skin that is completely cleansed and dried. Leave a few minutes to let your skin totally dry out, because applying retinol to wet skin can cause irritation. It draws it in deeper and can cause some real irritated skin. I apply it everywhere except for around my eye area. I don't go anywhere close to my eyelids because then my eyelids puff up to the high heavens. It's very bad. And I do not put any retinol in the crooks of my nose here because it causes welling, and the welling up of the product will cause some really intense irritation around the nose. So I apply it just to the chin area. I try not to put too much on my neck, forehead of course, nose, and then avoiding the little crevices of my nose. It works so well, the Adapalene Gel. I would highly recommend asking for a prescription from your doctor. It's actually available in the US as different gel that you can just buy off the shelf. So I would love to go buy some there next time I'm in the US just for fun. Absolutely spectacular. So on the nights where I'm not using my retinol, because as I mentioned, I do not use it in consecutive nights, I'll use it 2 or 3 times a week. On the other nights, I use something like a salicylic acid, a lactic acid. I love lactic acid, and I love peel pads. And the retinol will cause some flaking skin on the top of your skin, and using like a peeling acid after the retinol on alternating nights will clear off those skin cells without having to do the manual exfoliation. So something like the Bioderma CBM Pore Refiner is a really nice product. It's a mattifying gel that you could use morning or night to help clear out your skin. Now, I do find if I use those types of mattifying products too frequently, they do dry out my combination skin. So always following up with a really beautiful moisturizer. One of my favorites here is the Bental Peroxide. This is more of a rich cream, but in general, the Aven products are so good, so calming. On those off nights where I'm not using retinol, I'll use like a thermal water, an Aven moisturizer, and like a lactic acid as my first treatment step, and my skin is so happy. Another thing to remember is with a retinol product, it's best to just use it on its own. I'll use my Adapalene Gel and then nothing else, and it works beautifully like that. So don't overdo it. I don't even put on like eye creams or anything. I literally just let my skin dry out, put on the gel, and that's it. Now, if you do want to use more of a natural spot treatment, you can get like a Thursday Plantation tea tree oil gel. I find this is pretty good even for spots on my body to help heal them up really nicely. And there's also this great Zit No More stick from the Better Skin Company. I really enjoyed using this. This does smell quite heavily of tea tree oil. It's not the most hygienic method of application because it's a little roller ball, but overall, if you do use this on cleansed skin, it works really nicely. That's sort of what I'm doing right now. I ended up stopping using salicylic acid too regularly because I just found it wasn't really working for me. I can't say that retinol is clearing up my blackheads very much, so I still need to use more clay masks. I think that's going to help more with my blackheads. Salicylic acid really helps with blackheads, but I just haven't really enjoyed using it lately. I've really been sticking more to that retinol, lactic acid at night. The most important thing when you're using acids and retinol especially is to use sunscreen in the morning. Sunscreen is so important because with retinol, you are so much more susceptible to sunburns, so it's very crucial to use sun protection always. That's everything I've been using, you guys. I am quite thrilled with how my skin is looking right now. I haven't even gone to a facial in a very long time, but I would love to go again because it really is such a great way to take care of your skin and to get a really nice deep clean. Of course, there are a bunch of other products that you can use, like sheet masks, which I do like to indulge in, especially if it's been a really long day and I just need like a drink of water for my skin. Generally just trying to keep it really simple, focusing on using my retinol, getting my skin used to that, and I think it's working pretty well. well. So thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. A lot more content is coming your way. And drop a comment below. What have you been using? Have you suffered from acne? Let me know so that we're not alone. But this has been a really fun video to film, and I look forward to seeing you again super soon. Bye!